Yeah, no, that's correct. Oh no, it doesn't look correct. So do I have to offset that, do I?
You can just move it down, use the move tool, and then round it off. So negative 340. I'll just round it off to there.
I see. Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then I'll show you how to deal with something like this here later on also.
Okay.
Yeah, just so you know, we're recording now.
Awesome.
And
thank you, Thomas.
Muting.
My name is Bim Bartholomew, actually.
It's not the time for dad jokes.
Okay.
Okay, so something like this here, we're pretty much just going to make a basic stair that's winding up like this. Now, I say basic stair, this is a bit more advanced because it actually curves up. There is no landing on this one. Sometimes you'll get landings. So the best practice to do when you have a landing, let's just say, for example, I'll draw like just an example of here. If you have a landing or something over here, you'd want to create a new level under the architecture tab and go to level. And what you'd do is pretty much create a new level and then name that landing 1 or something like that there. And that will just create something for you to attach your stair to. In this example here, though, in Melissa's model, there is no landing. As you can see in the actual stairway, it's just a straight curve up to level 2. So if we bring this over here, you can see it just comes up to this point over here. The way we're going to do this is by creating a custom stair family. So we're going to click on the architecture tab up top here and navigate to stair, which is near ramp and railing. And what you're going to do, instead of doing these automatic ones over here, what we're going to do is go to create sketch. And under create sketch, there's 3 options. There's boundary, riser, and stair path. So we always start off with boundary, I guess in my personal case. And what you want to do is outline the actual boundary of the staircase. So I'm just using the pick line tool over here to sort of stick onto the actual existing walls that are in this space. So just make sure you're clicking the walls, and then always double check by turning off your point cloud and just making sure they're on the right elements. So you can see just in here is possibly on the wrong one. Just 1 second, we'll have a look again.
Just want to add, I think
this one.
You're seeing level 1 walls as well as level 2.
There we go.
Is that correct?
Yep, that was on wireframe.
Oh, yeah.
Sweet, there we go. All right, so that there is a lot more accurate now. Thank you, Tom. Sweet. And then we'll just use the trim and extend tool and join that there up again. Ideally, you'd want to bring these here back so they're all in line with the actual end and start of the staircase. So again, you can use the AL tool, and I'll click on this face over here, and I'll navigate to the end and just find the toggle over here and then click on that. So that will just put it in line with all of these elements over here. So I'll do that again, click on that central element and put that over there. So what we're doing is pretty much outlining where our stairs are going to exist in this space. So you can see the green thing's just the outside and the inner side of the stair. What you want to do next is turn your point cloud back on, and we're going to do another part, which is the risers. So to do this, we are going to use the riser tool, and we are going to click line over here. In that case, all you do is you roughly sketch these here out, and you pretty much follow these existing lines that you can see on the stair where all the risers change their heights pretty much. Give me 2 seconds, guys. I need to plug my headphones in. What was a good call? Oops. I guess any questions so far while I find my headphone plug? Okay, sweet.
Oh, okay. Okay, I've got a question while you're plugging in. Hey, so for the doors, do we need to measure every door?
Yep, because most of them will be different.
Okay.
So it's always good to just double check those. I mean, there's a few of them along like certain walls which could be the same.
Yep.
But yeah, just to be safe, I'd say double check and put them all in.
Okay.
Make sure you're checking their height as well.
Yes. Yeah, well, that's what I was thinking is the fun of that, isn't it?
I had a question about those, but I'll ask by the end.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, sweet. Got myself plugged in. I feel like a robot again. What I will do is just change the visibility graphics on this here, actually. Just 1 second, guys. When you're doing stairs, just make sure you reset your offset and view clips, just so you can see everything below. Does help quite a bit. Sweet, and I'll turn this here on again. Okay. So I'm just going to start that there again quickly because I had to go change the view clips, and that'll just take 2 seconds. Okay, so we were at the riser portion of this, and what we want to be doing at this section is just following those risers, as I said before. So just making sure the point cloud is on. And all you're going to do is draw these risers in. It's not the most clear riser model, is it, Tom?
No, I mean I don't know if it's a case of like the resolution bit cooked on Discord. Maybe do you want to change out of thin lines?
Yeah, maybe. Is it quite blurry on Discord?
It's just kind of, yeah, that's a bit more apparent.
Sweet.
One thing.
So what we're doing is just following these pretty much risers going up. Yeah, what were you saying, Tom?
So those are like the rises, like the actual tread of the steps. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
Can you actually do that rounded bit in the middle of the stairs?
Yeah. I'll do that this end.
Yeah.
Just want to get all of these here in first.
I had a question about that, actually, Sion.
Yep.
I see that you're going all the way to the wall.
Yep.
I know that, I don't know if maybe it's a setting on my Revit, but my Revit always like adds the stringers on the outside.
Yep. So it does add the stringers to the outside, but you can delete those stringers afterwards.
So do we not need the stringers at all?
It depends on something like this here. You wouldn't.
Okay.
I think for your one, which you're referencing, an outdoor one,
Mm-hmm.
you might need the stringers because they are visible, right?
Yeah.
Sweet. Yeah. So in that scenario where they're visible, keep them. But something like this where it's indoors, you don't need to.
Okay. Sweet.
I'd honestly go as far as saying you probably just don't need them in general, Tom. What would you say on that? Because we are doing an LOD 200, right? We're not detailing all of that to high detail.
Yeah, it's getting a bit detailed. But you know, if it is something like this one, obviously there, just have a play around with it. I honestly don't like play around with them often enough to just tell you how to manipulate them off the cuff. But they're pretty like they are a separate element to the stairs, so you can just select them separately and delete them. You might have to like press tab to select them separately.
I'll show you guys what the stringers look like too for you guys who just don't know yet. When it pops up on this here.
Sweet.
But yeah, I'm just doing a really rough trace right now. Don't take this as accurate. This is probably my least accurate work I've done.
How do you know which one of those lines is right?
I don't. That's why I'm saying it's not accurate right now.
Right.
But when you do it, just play around with your view ranges and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you'll find it.
Sweet.
Another way I double check is I always check through section and I count all the risers, and then I make sure I'm putting that same amount down in this view over here.
Yeah,
it's a bit more tedious, but it works.
And is this stairs is one of those ones where it'll stop you from manipulating the sections and stuff, eh? So you want to set your section up in advance.
Sections and stuff in advance. So I've already made that mistake of not doing that properly.
Yeah. See how
But,
it's like grayed out the sections?
So yeah,
in
you need to
plan?
pre-make all of those views before you start tackling it, I guess, yeah. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to connect all of these risers and everything up. But before I do that, Tom mentioned that there is a curved part of this actual stairwell. And the way you could do that, there's many ways. You just go to the boundary tool again, and you can use the curve tools that are over here. That's just the way I'm going to do it. And then, same as you do with any other profile, you just add a curve in, and then you trim and extend those there to make it nice and neat and connect up to one another. I'm just going to change to thin line really quickly again, just so I can attach all of them, because I can't seem to attach them properly on thick lines.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to go back into a non sort of point cloud view for that. And you can see it's just a whole bunch of random lines right now that are doing nothing and going nowhere. I guess just like my thesis. There we go.
Just a question, how much detail is going into, like, in general, just everything, like the stairs and the windows, and like, is it basically just a basic simple kind of?
Yep, so we're just trying to get the generic shapes in of the stairs, for example.
Yeah.
You don't have to detail the railings and stuff right now. I mean, if you know how to and you want to, sure, go for it. But that's another advanced part of Revit.
Okay.
Yeah. As for windows
So
go,
basically just the out.
I mean,
Sorry.
as for windows go, just go to like same level of detail that's in the tutorial, where you just have the curtain wall, it's mullions, and sometimes you're doing that internal stuff as well. Would be quite good.
Okay, no worries.
Were you referring to
Okay.
anything specific?
Well, just with the stairs that I have on the outside, like it's I'd probably have to show you, but it's kind of got a little bit of detail. Like it's got oh no, I would have to show you to.
That's okay. Yeah, you
Yeah.
can show me after this. But yeah, I get what you mean. Like, there's railing detail and stuff. I think if we just put a general
Yeah.
railing in, that is fine. You don't have to highly detail your railing. And I'll show you how to edit the heights of the railing also, just to give it that little bit of accuracy if you want.
Yeah, and I also have columns like holding it up as well.
So the way I usually do that is quite a cheat way. I usually
Okay.
just do a mass underneath it.
Oh, yeah, that okay, cool. Oh, I can do that.
So it's just visual. So it just becomes a visual element, really.
Okay.
Okay,
Cool.
so if I've done this correctly, which I thoroughly hope I have, otherwise this would be awkward. You pretty much go to the stair path part now. So it's kind of in series. You go boundary, riser, then stair path, and then all you do is you draw the stair path, ideally from the center over here, and then you kind of just bring it up here, bring it across, and then you'd like to end this over here also. So I'll just bring this down here, and again I'll use the trim and extend tool still.
Yeah, seriously, use the trim tool, because it will not work if your lines aren't joined. And
That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping everything's
Yeah.
joined.
Yeah, like if you're dragging ends, it's really easy to like actually just misplace it, like on such a minuscule scale that it just won't actually work, and you just won't know where the problem is either.
Another thing with staircases is don't waste time being as accurate as you can, because you're never going to be 100% accurate with as-built staircases. Like you would if you're very lucky, but a lot of them have a lot of warp and differentiation between riser heights and everything. I personally haven't found a way to do heights between different risers, Tom. I don't know if you have.
I mean, it's not worth it. Just rationalize it.
Because like the other way you could do is by custom making the stairs from scratch, but that's always a bit of pain.
Nah.
So I just hit tick up top over there, and it's giving me an error, probably because it's landing in the wrong area. So it is. We'll just bring this here down. So it does commonly do this, and then all you need to do is click on the actual stair itself and change its level. So this is the basement level, is it, Mel? At the bottom here?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll go basement to level 1 because that is what I was tracing. Now you'll notice it doesn't fully sit on the actual, oh, I guess your level might be off. That's interesting.
Didn't you just move it down the floor?
No, because it doesn't attach it to the floor, it attaches it to the level.
Right.
So there's a level going across over here that's not actually on the floor. I'll check that out, Mel, for you, and I'll see what we can do for that, because I think we might just need to offset that whole level.
Can you? Is it a different base constraint? Like,
Because this time
It's on ground floor
here.
basement at the moment. Maybe we'll try sea level and see what happens there.
oh no, that's gonna go way down.
Yeah, I'll show you guys a way around that anyway, because I'll just use a negative offset on this. So to get this here to touch the ground, you should technically just be able to. Would it be from the bottom of the riser, Tom? The offset?
It looks like it's actually one riser short on this bottom stair.
It could be a negative 346. Let me just test out, and I'll tell you what I did if it works. Okay, that there.
That's better.
Really, that works, yeah. So what I did was I just measured from the bottom of the riser, which was 346.3. You could rationalize that. But I just put on the base offset on the property menu over here. If it's not hitting the ground, I'll just go negative 346.3 and then just hit enter, and that will just bring it down to its constraint over here at the bottom. Ideally, if you're doing it from a level, it'll start from here. I just think because there might be a level that's a bit iffy or something in this model over here that it's doing that. And then in this regard over here, you can see how, I guess there's an additional riser or something. So there's I've obviously traced one extra than there needs to be. So you can just go and edit the actual staircase and remove that one. So you can always just double click, just like your profile and stuff when you're doing, I guess like a custom wall or a custom window. You can always just come in and edit this here. And then also make sure that the stair path goes back to the new one that you started with. Oh. I need new glasses. I'm just blind apparently. There we go. So that kind of roughly falls into place over here now. Now you can see that it still isn't 100% in place over there. And that might just be because Revit does a weird thing sometimes. If you change the desired number of rises, it changes this here. Changes its alignment somehow. So you can kind of play around with this here and just see how close you can get it. Again, you're never going to get it 100% accurate. So you're just looking for most of these here to be matched up. Is there a way that you would do it, Tom? Because this is the way
Sorry,
I would do it. So you pretty much, after you've made the actual stair itself, you come here to the properties menu and you reduce the number of riser height, the desired number of risers until it sort of fits snugly into the actual point cloud shape.
Yeah. You're kind of telling it. Like my guess is that you've modeled it based off of that level 2 floor plan. So you've actually got an extra step. Essentially,
than
you need.
And then that's the thing also, you can't actually get it 100% accurate sometimes, especially in stairs like this. So yeah, just try and get as close as you can, really.
Yeah, actually something that just works and looks like a feasible stair is honestly good enough.
So if we look at this here in 3D now, like we're not going to downgrade you for the stairs being slightly off, as long as they're mostly snugly fit into everything. And that's the other thing, I guess, when you guys are doing floors, just double check the point cloud itself and make a hole in the floor where that stair needs to go. So I guess for Melissa's one over here, I would turn the point cloud off first of all. it didn't. There we go. Double click on the actual floor plate itself. And what I would do is just trace around the stair. So I'd use the pick line tool. And I think pick line and these shortcuts will become your friend also if you're doing studio and everything. It just makes your workflow so much faster than you having to navigate up to the top ribbon. So TR for trim and extend again. And then, you know, I broke the wall actually. Hold up. That was a silly move by me. What I meant to do was split the wall over here. I wasn't concentrating, forgive me guys. There we go. I will split the wall over here first. And then that means I can trim and extend that to that, and that wall will still stay intact over here. I mean, this floor piece will still stay intact there. And yes, I am just doing a donut, Tom.
Nice.
Just a quick donut. So I'll just do that there for now. And then that they'll just make a nice hole in your floor for you, so your stairs can sort of protrude up. So you'll have these railings and stuff naturally with stairs. I just click on them and delete them. You don't really need them for what we're doing over here.
Stringers work the same way.
And stringers work the same, but stringers you have to actually go into the edit stairs dialog and click them to delete them. So stringers are these things here on the side of the actual staircase. So this is what Rohan was talking about earlier on. If you have like an external exposed staircase, feel free to leave them on. You don't have to worry about editing them too much, but it's up to you. You can either remove them or not, depending on how untidy or tidy it looks. Just make that judgment yourself, or ask me or Tom to have a look at it and make that judgment for you. Better be safe than sorry, I guess. And then it's easy to go into wireframe and see them, and then, you know, just click them, delete, and then there you have it. Just a really basic stair. I wouldn't say basic, slightly advanced stair. So you see how there's this little lip over here coming up now. So that there is the end riser. So you just need to untick this on the left-hand side property dialog, and it'll go away, and that will merge directly into the floor instead. So it'll just create that neatness and its seal. And yeah, there you go. Now you could pretty much copy paste this up level and flip it and everything if you need to. As I'm sure some of you 30ers might have done for your high rises possibly. But
I guess
yeah.
the tricky thing is, for those of you who aren't as Revit fluent, is like with stairs, you can't really make your changes like with the geometry. You kind of have to make those changes with the parameters and the values. And that
yeah,
properties
you're not
box.
modeling geometry. Yeah, so a lot of your focus is going to be on this left-hand side with the riser numbers and the offsets and the sort of level bases and everything. So again, I don't expect all you guys to, you know, get this straight off the bat. If you guys start getting stuck with this, feel free to hit me up tomorrow during the day anytime and just let me know. If you guys are stuck on stairs, if you guys start modeling them, I'd say get onto them tomorrow and just start modeling them, and then flick me all the questions. And then I can just sit on one-on-ones with you guys also, like 10 minutes or so, and show you guys what to do. All right, any more questions on stairs?
Would I be able to show you a problem I have with the stairs?
After.
Sweet, yeah.
Yeah, sweet. Any other questions about modeling stairs, I guess, that aren't about like stair issues yet? Sweet, all right. So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go up to the roof. And I'll show you guys something over here. So this is just for another added little bit of detail. Ideally, you guys would probably want to be doing this towards the end, but you can see on the roofs over here, you've got these sort of chimneys, and you've got these, I guess these weird spherical chimneys. What would these actually be? Just vents, right?
I'd say so, yeah.
Yeah, so the way we're going to tackle these are by creating, I guess, a cylindrical shape almost. So what we're going to do is go to the site plan view. Should be something here. Maybe not.
Yeah, I've never found anything there. Oh, well,
It's just hidden from us. All right, it's probably a view range setting. Let me just go solve that quickly.
Scientist, name it.
No, it's not a view range setting. Interesting. Tom, would you know why it's not showing up in sight?
Go zoom to extents.
I did try that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Guess we could just do it from here. I'll just change the view range in your level 3 one for this example. I guess, actually, should we try and solve that? We'll try. So what I'm going to do here, Melissa, just for your reference and everyone else's reference also, so I'm just going to create a new level above that there. I'm just going to call that site v2. Oh, vs apparently. And we'll try and see if this here works somehow. Okay, there we go. So we've created a new bootleg site view. What we want to do is you go up to your architecture tab and you go all the way to the end to the work plane settings, and you're gonna hit ref plane. So what this is pretty much a axis that we can trace off in our sort of default views later on. So we're gonna click on the approximate center line of the roof over here and draw a reference plane. It is pretty hard to see just because of the noise of the point cloud. So if I just turn it off for you quickly, you'll see what's drawn over there. That's just this green dotted line, which you guys will see a lot clearer on your screens when you guys are actually doing it. And you want to name this reference plane something that you can remember. So roof sphere for this example. And then what you're going to want to do is draw a section going sort of parallel to that there. And you want to bring your offset in a little bit. You don't really want to get all this data. You only want to see that spherical object or conical object over there. At this point, you just right click as you usually have been doing and you go to view. Now, in this view here, you should be able to see everything. So I'm just going to uncrop all of this. So now you can see we're looking directly at the spherical sort of components over here. Now, the way we're going to model this is by creating a custom component. So we're going to hit architecture again, and we're going to go to the components panel, and we're going to go model in place. Within model in place, we're going to go to generic models. You can do that by hitting G on your keyboard because this is all alphabet based over here. So it'll snap to generic models. And then you would like to name this here sphere 01 or something along those lines there. I'd get in the habit of naming things because later on when you want to see something else, when you want to like find something, it's just going to make your life a lot easier in the case that you need to. So now you see it's going to come up with these different options here. There's extrusions, which is just like you get when you're making a mass, and then there's these other things like blend, revolve, sweep, sweep bend, and void forms. We're going to go to revolve, and it's going to come up with this work plane dialog box, and you're going to select roof sphere, which is that reference plane that we made before. So once that is done, it literally just means we're going to be tracing on a plane that's existent over here. And what we want to do is hit axis line instead of boundary line on these options over here. Now, axis line is just going to run from the center top of this cone down into the bottom. You don't have to worry about it too much. It can go into the roof as much as you want, really, just as long as it's not going through the ceiling and stuff for the purposes of this, really. So this is going to create a sort of axis for our form to sort of sweep around. So I'm just going to bring this up here. And what you're going to do now is hit boundary line. And this is exactly the same as you would do when you're creating like a custom window frame or something like that there. You just want to draw in the rough shape of the cone, and you're only going to be drawing in one side of it because this is going to revolve around and make a cylindrical sort of shape. So once that is done, I'll show you that in 3D view. And you can see it's approximately placed on that reference plane that we put up over there. What you're just going to do is hit tick at that time, and that's going to create a shape like this here. It's a pretty interesting shape. From that point there, we are going to go into the makeshift plan view we made. And just turn the point cloud back on. and then also go back into the section. You can see that it is slightly offset. Feel free to just move this here around till it's comfortably in place, or you could just go back and sort of edit it again and either extend this here out a little bit because it looks like it's a little bit thicker. And then again, just feel free to toggle and move that into place as much as you'd like to. Underneath this here, you can see there's another shape too, and that's just a basic sort of sphere, cube, almost a rectangular sort of squarey thing. That's just directly underneath this here. Again, if you can't see it properly, it's probably good to go into normals. It's not too clear over here, but you can vaguely see it. So if I go to a wireframe, for example, you can see it underneath just barely. The way we'd like to model this here is we want to be staying in this actual mass editor. So to go back into it after you've hit tech and everything, you just click it and click edit in place. And you go to the create option over here in these architecture tabs. And in this one here, in this instance, it's fine to go through the extrusion dialog like you would do when creating a normal mass. So we're going to hit extrusion. We're going to go to the work plane that we created before, roof sphere. And what we're going to do is just draw a basic sort of shape that follows this here. So again, you don't have to be too approximate with this. This is just sort of, the icing off the cake, really. You're just adding the extra level of detail so it looks a bit more believable and a little bit more finished. So you want to do that there. Again, it's just going to look like that there on the axes plane that we drew before. You're going to hit tick, and it's going to come up with a really just simple rectangle, I guess. And then you're going to go into plan view and just drag that to the extents roughly where it needs to go. And if you need to rotate it, for example, all you need to do is hit edit work plane and disassociate. And that way it's not attached to that specific plane anymore, and it's free to rotate around a little bit depending on the actual orientation of it. So I'll just give it a slight rotation. And then all you do is hit finish model. And then there you go. So you've got one of those roof vents now. And then you could just join geometries. So to make it a little bit neater, just edit it again, click join, and join those two shapes over there. Sweet. So that is pretty much how you create that. So I'd say just create one of them. And then that way, after you've got one, because they're all quite similar, and we're not going to look at how you've modeled each and every single one of these, you can literally just copy paste that to the other positions that they're in after you've made that one. So you can just bring this here across and roughly place it in its area. And then you can obviously double check that there in section and everything that it's being placed in the right area. And then, yeah, you'll have a whole series of them by the end. It just adds more detail to the actual roofing elements. In terms of chimneys, Tom, do we have any idea how detailed we want the chimneys to be?
I've seen some pretty detailed chimneys come through, which is awesome. That actually just looks like a pretty simple sweep, really, doesn't it?
Could you do this here as a sweep?
Yeah.
Would it be square?
You just draw the profile and then draw like a rectangular path.
Oh wow, okay. I always thought they were all cylindrical, so that's a learning thing for me then.
It looks like they're pretty square.
Yeah, okay. Well, let's try that now. Wait, Rohan, how did you do yours, bro?
I did a lot of extrusions, and then I did the blend one where it does Blizzical blend. I don't know. It's the one where it has like the trapezoid shape.
Right. I guess Tom,
Yeah.
do you wanna?
Yeah, that would be cool to see.
Do you want to explain your method to me? Because I've never tried that. Feel free to direct me.
Okay. Similar thing. Set yourself up with just a reference plane cutting through it at some point.
Okay, 1 second.
Might go redo my chimneys.
Yeah, because the way you would have done it would have taken a while.
And it's not too precise either, so this will be more
I don't think it has
interesting.
to be too precise, but
Yeah, it's fun
yeah.
to learn.
Put it right up against like the reference plane because you just want to get the profile.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's the one.
Sweet, we've got it up there. And then I would just do the same thing as before, component model in place.
Yep.
This time I'm just going to go generic model again, and I'll name this here chimney 01. And then what I'm going to do is, I assume, Tom, I'm just going to go to sweep, draw the axis line through the center again.
That's correct.
Sweet. So it's pretty much the same
well,
as
there's
the other
not
one,
really
right?
an axis line.
Oh.
Sorry.
My bad, I broke it.
You kind of have you have two modes that you draw in. So you draw a profile and associate that to the work plane, and then you draw a path in which the profile gets painted along.
So you still use revolve though, right?
No, you sweep.
Sweep. Okay. All right. So sketch path.
Yeah. Okay. Sketch path first. So go into the plan view.
Okay. So I need to be in plan view first. Okay.
Yep. Sketch path here. And I guess draw it on the inside of the chimney. What you're seeing there on the point cloud. Draw it on.
Okay. So
draw it
am I
on the.
drawing it like this?
No. So draw the rectangle shape.
Okay.
But like on the see how it's like a donut. Yeah, draw it on the inside.
Right. Like that.
Yeah. And yeah, see now how it has like a plane there.
I get what you mean. And then you're just gonna trace that one profile over there.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll just show them that there also then. So what this is doing, it's set up a rectangle for us that will, this sweep is going to go around this rectangle, and it's going to trace pretty much this shape over here once we draw it in. So at this stage, I assume we just hit tick, Tom, and then we start sketching the actual profile.
Yes.
So we're just going to go to edit profile, and it's pretty much going to be drawn on this plane over here now. You can see that sort of red dot and the crosshair over there. And what you're going to do is just roughly trace this here. So I'm just going to do a really rough trace. You guys can take your time with this here and make it as pretty as you want. I'm just going to go for a basic Minecraft chimney with some extra details, I guess.
Sweeps are kind of the key to doing like any classical facade detailing.
You've improved my workflow a lot.
Hey, I got you.
Do I need to close this here up?
Yes, you do. You need to make a complete loop.
Okay, so we're just gonna do this here, guys. We're just gonna make a really thin sort of wall.
You can make it thick as well.
Just for you. Not that.
Maybe
That's going to
a little too
intersect.
thick.
Yeah. So that's the problem. If you go too thick, it will intersect and it won't allow you to make that shape. So it has to be a reasonable sort of thickness, I guess.
So it's kind of like an extrusion, except you're kind of telling that profile to move along a path that you've specified.
So
which
now
in this
if I
case
hit
is the rectangle.
tick,
Yeah,
it should extrude along that whole thing, and there you go. You've got a chimney. That is way easier than your
That is
version,
so
Rohan, I guess.
cool. Oh my gosh, that would have saved me so much time.
pretty good.
So
that's sick.
actually a pretty good way to do it. I guess in this regard, you'd kind of want to just extend this here below the roof line a little bit, just so it goes into the actual roof.
Yeah, you can always then like join
Sort of
the geometry to like clip it off.
So then now in 3D view, it actually needs to go a little bit lower. Just gonna extend it all the way down for the sake of this.
That is actually such a helpful skill. So really, thank you.
It's a good tool there.
Yeah.
And then what Tom was saying is you can click on it and then join geometry, so you get a nice crisp line over there. So yeah, that is the basics.
Too.
Yeah. So
I like that the lines are so delicate.
It's beautiful. And then also, I guess what you guys are doing when you're modeling, so Melissa's done this and I know Rohan's done this also. When you have roofs, you can literally just right click on them, override graphics in view by category, and then place line work on them. Did you do it that way, Melissa? It looks like they're just hatched naturally somehow.
It might just be the family.
Interesting. Oh, well. All you do is you right click, override graphical view, go by category, and that will hatch all the roofs for you, and then you can choose whatever hatch you want, chuck that on, and then yeah, that will just make it just makes it look a bit more roofy, I guess, than it just being plain like white. Add some texture to your model. I guess that just comes into the presentation sense of things. I forgot what you had it on before, Melissa, so sorry. There we go. But yeah, I guess that's the base of it. So thanks, Tom, for that chimney sweep. That's pretty sick.
Yeah, I guess like these model in place components are kind of like the less rigid elements of Revit. So they do take a little while to get the hang of, but they're kind of like the key to doing.
Again, I don't
details.
necessarily think you also have to make a new chimney each time if most of them are pretty similar. All you need to do is probably, can you move this straight? Yeah, you can actually, can you?
Yeah, it's just basically like now just a random piece of geometry.
Yeah, so you can copy paste this chimney and just place it somewhere else if needed. So we can just do that. And now we've got two chimneys, you know, as you do. Don't actually even have one chimney.
Do you want to turn some shadows on real quick? See what that
You
looks
just want
like.
the eye candy,
Oh,
that's all you want?
Yeah.
Let's
I
just turn
like
the
that.
crispiness up too. But yeah, I guess that's the basics of chimneys, guys, and those weird spherical conical vent thingies. Any questions so far? It's probably a lot.
I was talking to you the other day about that big chimney that went all the way down to the basement,
Yep.
and you said we would probably have a chat with Tom about how
I
there's that
didn't
kind
have a
of
chat with
plinth.
Tom with that yet.
That's fine.
Completely forgot about that, if I'm honest
Yeah.
with you. The way I would do it is probably just draw a mass up till the roof level and then just detail the chimney as a heading piece on
Oh
top.
no, I meant the plinth thing that the building seems to sit on.
Oh no, we did come up with a solution with that, didn't we? We just did make the building pad thicker. Because there's nothing
Is that a
underneath it.
confirmed thing?
Yeah,
Okay,
just
cool,
make
cool.
the building pad thing.
Sweet.
So his bottom floor, Tom, is pretty much just a really, really thick bottom floor. So just make the building sort of thing, building floor pad thicker, I believe.
So
Do you want to maybe share your screen and just show Tom?
Yeah, I can do that.
Because I guess if no one else has any questions about chimneys and stairs at the moment, we'll just move on to the query stage of this.
I mean, I support
Yeah.
using a building pad. That's cool.
We'll just share that within 10 minutes if we can, Rohan, and then I'll
Yeah,
get
no
to
problems.
Jenny and then because she had some questions. Sweet. So I'll stop sharing my screen, guys. Was this tutorial okay? Is it a bit much to get your heads around?
It was very helpful.
Nah, that was awesome.
Sweet.
Yeah,
That's a good
Yeah,
reaction. That made me
It's
smile.
really good. It's really good. It just made me think maybe I do have more work to do than I thought.
I mean, these elements are really just the icing on top, right? So
They
I mean,
really
get
are.
the meat done first, and then just chuck some
Oh yeah,
marinade on,
just check them on. Yeah, sure.
sprinkle it on.
I
Yeah.
100% reiterate that. Like, so these, leave these as the
Yeah.
embellishment for your model.
Okay.
And if
No,
if
but
you're
they do look really good.
if you're in a pinch, just like draw them as like rectangular walls without the detail.
Just hand draw them.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Sweet, sweet. All right. Well, I'll stop sharing my screen for now. I'll let Rohan show his thing for about 10 minutes. Or do you want me to go with Jenny's stuff first? He's vanished.
I'm just muted. Either or. No big deal for me. Yeah.
Maybe we'll go with Jenny's first because
Yeah,
she had
all
a few
good.
questions about stairs and stuff. So
Sweet.
it's just while it's fresh for everyone. Jenny.
Okay. I'll show you. Oh,
Sweet. I'll stop sharing my screen. I guess at this point, if no one else has any questions, I guess you are free to leave and work on your models, but this might be quite useful, I guess, to see Jenny's one if you guys want to stick around.
Is it being recorded?
It is being recorded, yeah.
tips? Yeah, great. Thanks.
cool. So should I share my screen?
Yes, please, and we'll go through your model.
Okay. Okay, can you see this?
Yep, I can.
Okay, so I've just got Rohan's in here as well. But these are my stairs. Well, I haven't started them, but these are the stairs that I was talking
Yep.
about. So will I just basically put a little, like just model it as a mass kind of thing?
Yep, so I'd model those columns as a mass, and then you know how it has that X frame?
Yeah.
You saw how I did the component sort of thing when I made the chimney and I created that reference plane? You can do the same thing and just extrude it from that reference plane almost.
Oh, okay.
So
I can.
you can just just draw a section into that, and then you can draw a reference plane where that needs to be, and then just extrude it from that.
Okay. I might. I'll give it a go, and then if I don't, I might ask you tomorrow. Then.
Yeah, I mean, even in that case, like I'm pretty happy with you just putting those columns up too. But
Okay.
obviously, again, the more detail you can get out of this, the better, and it'll just be better for you in terms of studio also knowing how to do that.
Yeah.
Because then
definitely.
you can model all those aesthetic elements off reference planes almost. Be quite useful. And then
Okay.
in terms of the railings, I'd keep the stair railings in for you, and the stringers in. Just because it's external of the building, right? You don't want it to just look like a random plain stair with no railings and anything.
Yeah. Okay.
And then that should be okay. And then which one was the wall that you were talking about? The shed wall.
Well, I'll just take this off because then it's easier to see.
Sweet.
So it's actually this wall here, and then there's the roof. And so I've actually moved all my walls to connect to his. So like they're all connecting, but it's just this one wall that's not connecting. And if I move it over, then actually my whole wall, like my whole two walls on that side are completely out. So then
is it off axis in terms of your point cloud?
Yes, I'll actually show you. So, hold on. How do I do it again? I'll actually, sorry.
That's all good.
Oh my gosh, what am I doing? Oh, actually, so what I did, oh my gosh. I had it all done before, and then I think I did this way.
Okay.
Did I do it this way? Because I actually aligned it like to, now I can't even remember how I did it. Do it this way. Oh, sorry.
Don't align that right now.
Okay.
That'll probably throw everything off axis. What I meant, sorry, was do you have a plan view of it that I could just see the wall?
Oh, okay. Do you mean this wall?
Yeah, just so I can see if it is an axis. It is within the point cloud, it seems. Well, not the top one, but the bottom. Bottom one is.
Yeah, I
It
don't
could
know
honestly be my roof.
So it's this one. So it's actually this wall here.
Yeah.
And then I don't know what's happened to that one. I must have just done that. But it's this one here. So if I move it to join with the roof, it'll actually completely come off that.
Yeah, so I wouldn't worry about moving it to join to the roof. Just vertically attach it to the roof. That's all. Just make sure it's going into the roof.
Okay, so
don't use the align tool. You can just drag this one here up. I get what you mean because you can't use the attach to roof tool, is what I assume you're saying.
Yes,
also?
I can't do that either. So I just done it 700. So then it's all like lines up, and then obviously like it can be attached after.
In that case, just because it's a specific scenario, I'm happy for you to drag that wall into that roof manually in terms of height, just to make sure it looks like it connects.
Okay, and then with it being off, because like it doesn't, because like that's where the roof is, and then that's where my wall is. So that's fine.
I guess I have a question here for Rohan too. Did you put a Safit underneath that, Rohan?
I did. Yes.
So disregard that Safit as being accurate, I guess, because it's traced. It probably is accurate to a degree, but like what I mean is just don't worry about that Safit not lining up. Just bring your wall into the actual roof itself. Yeah.
Okay, so don't worry about that. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I think
it also
I think,
looks quite thick.
I think that Safit is what's confusing you a bit.
Okay, cool. Because I like everything else really like it's like perfectly lines up.
Yeah.
So everything, it's actually just that side.
Is there a way that you could send this back to Rohan and then you could? Can you edit that Safit, Rohan, or is that a static sort of thing?
No, the software I can edit. I was looking at it now because she sent it to me the other day.
Yeah.
And I think the big thing was I don't know if you remember, we were talking about the kind of the ridge, like how the ridge detail of the roof was like because Jenny, could you show me like the roof plan that you showed me with so you could see the point cloud on the roof?
Is it quite far off? Is it?
It's a little bit off. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I mean that is fine. It's just as how it is with a point cloud. You can't get all the accuracies in there. It looks like you've traced the actual slopes quite accurately, though.
Yeah, so I thought like, is it a big deal to push that over, or should I just leave it?
You could try pushing it over.
Okay.
It might help with that Safit thing at the bottom a little bit.
Yeah.
I guess in that regard, just try what you can with the roof, Rohan, to get that to fit Jenny's model. So fit it to Jenny's wall model, because the roof is the one that takes the least editing power as compared to her walls.
Yeah, for sure.
So try it that way. If that doesn't work, I'm perfectly happy for you guys to just manually join that wall to the roof. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so that's all with the roof. I just have a question now about windows.
Yep.
Like, so with windows, I was watching your thing. I was just wondering, do we put it in the middle like this? So then it's like, is it that one? Yeah. So it's like in here. So this edge touches here, or is that meant to go all the way down? If that makes sense.
No, so that is correct. So that is the sill at the bottom. You don't need to extend it into the sill.
Okay, so then with this, because I did it here, which I actually pushed it to the back, but it's fine to be in the middle, isn't it?
Oh no, sorry. I thought you meant like extending downwards. If you go back to the previous section.
That one?
Just because you have the data and you can see where the wall is, I would push it to the back.
Okay.
Yeah, just because you have the data available to you.
Okay, no worries.
And that way, that's all good. That way you can just hit AL. You can align that wall, the back wall first. So hit AL on your keyboard. I'll bring up the align tool and just hit the wall at the bottom. The back.
This one?
So the actual back side of that.
Oh, sorry.
No, sorry. So the right-hand side face of that wall.
Oh, this. Oh.
Yeah. Can you select that?
No, it won't let me select it.
Okay, that's all good. I mean, just generally, I guess just move that thing manually back then.
That one?
Yeah.
So just basically like that?
Yeah, because you can see that's where the window line is, and those are the mullions coming out that are extruding out along the window up there.
So those ones there. Okay, so if I can see it, then I can push it to the back, and if I can't, I'll just leave it in the middle.
If you can, just make the assumption that it's going to the back based on the others around it.
Okay, cool. And with that as well, okay, cool, because that would make it easier, because then this
that is the sill below,
Yeah, because I think that's what I was having trouble with, because I could see it, and I was like, am I meant to go back, or do I stay in the middle?
Yeah, no, if you have the data and it's showing that, just push it to the back. It just makes it a little bit more accurate.
Okay, cool. And then with the mullion as well, when I say I'm doing it for this, okay, it's not that one, but say if I do it for that, is that all right if it comes in like that? I know that's meant to be. Maybe I'll get a better one. Sorry.
I think with something like that, yeah. So if you could draw that section so it's just going beyond the actual glazed line of the window.
Like that?
Just there. Yeah, and then you go into that. So you can kind of roughly see where the mullions are. So I would say maybe adjust that window height a little bit, window width a little bit, sorry, just so when the mullions do come in, they sit sort of comfortably
so
on
like
that.
there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you can also customize the mullion sort of thicknesses too. So if you want to measure that mullion thickness in that window right now,
Ooh.
so that's 22. We'll generalize it as 20, right? So now when you click mullion and go edit type, and then just duplicate it, and just name it 20 millimeters square. And then you see where it says width, so just go 10, 10. So in total, it'll go to 20.
Oh, sorry. Yep.
Been a really funny looking million if that. If you get that. So yeah, try putting that there in now. Yep. So that there fits a lot
cool.
better. Yep.
Okay. And actually one more question.
And do you know how to do those grid lines? Sorry, in between those millions.
They are this one, isn't it? And then you can like that and then move it.
Yep, correct. Sweet, sweet.
Okay, cool. And then with this one as well then, so this one obviously like the glass only comes up to here, which I'm pretty sure in this section it's actually like that as well. Actually I think I can, yeah. Oh no. I do this all the time.
So a tip for you, I guess, in that regard is to pin your elements like walls, just as you go, so you don't accidentally drag, and then you select those pin icons and stuff at the bottom right to make sure you're not selecting things. But yeah, you're right in the assumption you just made, where you'd bring it to the glazing.
Okay. Oh yeah. So I bring it down there. Okay.
Yep.
And then so then if that's the glazing, then it doesn't. And then the rest of it must be. So that's the glazing. Oh, where is it? Oh, there. And then no, that's the wrong one.
That's the wrong section. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the glazing, but then I don't need to show that.
Yeah. So Tom.
Yo.
How would you model that arched window when I guess the glazing doesn't go up to that?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's got so it's like an arched penetration in the building facade,
Yes.
but then it's like boxed out above the actual window pane.
Yep. Should we say they just model it as a plain window, or would you say they model it to the glazing?
No, just model it as the plain window. That's fine.
All right. So then, in that regard, Jenny, disregard what I said. Just model it as the arch.
Okay, so that one I can, but then the other one I can move it back, so it's. Okay, that's all right. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So I'll just have like two different kind of windows.
Yeah, it'll probably just keep it a little bit easier for you guys, and it'll probably look a lot better also in the end as a visual product.
Okay. Cool. Okay. Cool. Yeah, because I was just getting confused if I had two different types, but that makes sense if I have one like that and then the other one in the middle, which will be easier. Okay.
Sweet.
Cool. Awesome. That was about it. Thank you.
No worries.
I think so with the detail for the window, we're just doing it basically as just simple. Like we don't have to put too much more detail in.
No, that's correct.
molding.
Yeah, just mullions and glazing really.
Okay, cool. Oh, actually, I do have one last question. I'm so sorry. I will be
That's all
quick.
good.
When I was actually, how am I going to show you this? I'll just put hold on. I'll actually just put a massive thing in here. When I was trying to get everything like to match up to the other model, I noticed that let's put this. I noticed that my floor was actually out compared to Rohan's one, but I realized that, just to double check on it, so like this is all out, but I realized right at the end this is actually accurate. So
yes.
does that
So the way I would tackle this, and that is just how it is with these old buildings, nothing's ever linear or straight. In profession, if I wasn't attaching it to another model, I would just generalize it to where that line is going across the majority of the floor rather than just one end.
Yeah.
So I'd probably go to the center of it and align it to the center, and that's probably going to be the best way. But since you're linking it with Rohan's model, I think you two just have a quick discussion and decide on a floor height that's suitable for both of you.
Cool. Okay.
Just generalize one, and then keep it at that. And it doesn't matter if it's slightly off or not off. Because can you measure the difference between the actual model and the point clouds? Can you do that? Like zoom into the floor?
So it's about like 10, I think it was.
Yeah.
Oh,
So it's
yeah.
about 15. Yeah, so that is
Okay.
fine. So I think if it's within that there, if it's within about 25 mils still, I think it's still good.
Okay, cool.
It doesn't have to be
Ooh.
flush on that. Just make sure. I guess communicate with Rohan, and Rohan, just you and her just come up with a nominal sort of height for that floor.
Yeah, my one, I don't know if the point cloud's different, but my one's 30. So I think I talked about this like ages ago, so I did lower mine by 30.
Yeah, so mine is 30 as well now because I
Okay,
lived
sweet,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, so we can keep it like that. That's fine. I was
Okay,
just
that's
Yeah. Oh, so yours is fully aligned with Rohan's now. Sorry, that's what
Yeah,
you're saying.
so-
It's just
so
it looks off
my-
in your one. Yeah.
Yes, my whole model is it lines up perfectly with his now. It's just that
Good.
one wall, and then I just wanted to double check with that because I think even like the ceilings, like they're all a little bit out, but that's
Yeah.
just I
That
was
is
just like,
fine.
oh,
Yeah,
I think
I
that's
mean,
just the old building.
yeah. I mean, you'll realize half the walls aren't even straight. Like,
yeah, no.
yeah.
Like they keep all going out, so I just
Yeah,
left
so
them.
yeah, I mean, all I can say is the model's looking pretty damn good. So
Okay, awesome. Yeah, thank you so much. Sorry to take up so much time.
that's all good.
Okay, cool,
Rohan,
thank
did
you.
you have your quick share screen
Yep,
thingy?
I've got mine here. Alright, first things first, I think I fixed the roof, so we're good.
Man, style was first things first.
Jenny,
Guys, can I leave you just to tell you that I'm going to leave now? Is it okay for everybody?
Yep, that should be okay.
Okay. Once we finish modeling, next we tackle with the report, and maybe we should still keep this time, for having a chat. So just to share this with you before I leave. Does this sound okay?
yep, sounds good.
Okay. See you next
Sounds-
week then. Good
See
luck.
you,
Have a
Renata.
lovely
Thank
Bye,
you.
Renata.
Sounds
See you,
good.
Renata.
Ciao, ciao.
And I
Yeah.
guess also before we start with Rohan's thing, it is almost 8 o'clock. So if you guys have to go
Oh, wow.
or want to go, feel free to go. And I'll just stick around if you have any more questions. I'll answer them until about 8:30ish.
Sweet.
All right, the floor's yours, Rohan. Take it away.
Yes, so Jenny, I think the roof is fixed now. I've kind of like the problem with the roof is it's kind of going into the wall a little bit, but I think it's fine, right?
That looks fine.
Yeah, that should sit a little better, yeah. And it's still kind of keeping its line, so I think that's fine. Yes, so Sion, one of the big things for me was I couldn't, for some reason, these external stairs on this side. I'm just gonna disable the point cloud because it's annoying.
And I guess maybe let's ask to see the Tom before he has to go because he might have to go soon. Do you want to
Yeah.
just show him that there quickly before we get into anything else?
Wait, show him what?
Got
The
me.
ground plan thing.
Oh, right, yeah.
You've got him for 3 minutes.
Alright, perfect. Look at this! So I've got this kind of like chimney thing that I've got here, but it's like my entire building is kind of sitting on this plinth sort of thick base thing, and like parts of these buildings go lower than the actual floor level because they kind of go into this area. So should I just model that as a big building pad?
Yeah, do a building pad. That's
Alright,
great.
sweet.
Big building pad. Yep, sweet.
Cool. That was
Or
the big thing about that.
actually,
Mass, would you say?
Yeah.
is it a building pad or is it a like foundation block wall? Because
Ooh, does it have thick? Oh, well, we may have to tell if it has
yeah,
thickness.
does it
yeah.
have like a ventilated like subfloor kind of?
It doesn't have
It
anything
is-
like my basement is empty, but it does have these kind
it
of
is
like
ventilated, yeah.
yeah.
So it must be a foundation thing then.
So yeah, it's you can see the vents there. So you could honestly just draw it as a wall that like sits
Ooh, okay.
below your level 1 walls.
And it has this like nice little taper. Do I need to worry about that?
No.
Alright. Sweet.
But we know how you are, Rohan, so if you want to model it, you can.
Look at the difference in the chimneys.
Yeah, it's a big difference.
It looks so much better.
Which one's your chimney?
This was the one that I made before I saw your tutorial, and this is the one I made during the tutorial.
Oh wow, your one's like all extrusions or something?
Yeah, and the blend one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
That must have
but
taken ages.
that took like 5 minutes, but this is so much nicer.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah, that's a win. But yes, I'm gonna go back to the thing. 'Cause we don't have much time. Sian.
Yo.
So this one, for some reason, it didn't want to make one. It didn't want to make a continuous stair, so I had to make 2 stairs.
That's fine.
I had to put floors between them.
Yeah, that's generally how. That is what I meant. Is when you have landings, put floors between them.
And does it matter what thickness that is?
So you can probably see it in the point cloud, can you? Or you can't because we don't have any scans underneath
yeah, there's
that.
nothing there. Yeah.
Just generalize it to something
Okay.
that looks correct. Usually what I would do is so if it had exposed beams, I'd model it to the thickness of the exposed beams underneath.
Yeah.
But in this case, you don't have that data, so just make an assumption, I guess.
Perfect. And last thing is about the other stairs on the other side. Did I show you the internal stairs?
No.
It's this one over here. I'll go into section for it because the section kind of shows a little bit about how convoluted it is, but basically it kind of goes into the floor, like that's the actual staircase itself goes into the wall, this wall.
Right.
So I've put a hole in the wall for this top bit. I've made an opening so that it can still be a thing.
If it works, it works.
Okay, is that fine though? Like,
yeah, if it works, it works. Dude.
okay, because like it's not exactly
I think me
structural.
and Tom have done very similar things in our models, at least when it comes to complex geometries.
I'm with that. If it works, it works.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's all I needed
I've
to know.
definitely done that before.
Alright, that's a win. Cool, thank you.
All good. All right. Anyone else? I feel like an auctioneer, but no one's buying any auctions from me.
Hi. I have some questions.
Yeah, man. Let's go for it.
Yeah.
Do you want to share your screen?
Yep. I'll do that.
Sweet. Tom, if you need to go, by the way, you can.
Good just in the meantime, but I might have to dip at any minute. So I'll just stay to keep the recording as long as possible.
Sweet.
Can you guys see my screen?
Yep. On it now.
Yep. So one of the main confusions I've been having is with this side, and I wanted to know how I could design this thing over here. So right now, what I've done, I've cut the wall.
Yeah.
Into this shape. But I'm wondering how I'll do that. I'll actually remove this quickly.
I think that might actually just be because we don't have data over there, though. I'm not too sure if that's the actual shape of the wall. That might actually be closed, and there might be like a shed or something in front of it from the outside.
Okay.
Which is why it's not showing any data over there.
Okay.
What do you think of that there, Tom?
Come again?
What do you think of that there, that shape? Because like that's probably a shed on the outside, if I remember correctly, on the front of the building. That is probably why it's not showing up.
Shall I quickly remove this and show you from that side?
Yeah, I think that might help. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's got that kind of shape.
Is this
okay.
the section I think? Is this like the elevator shaft again, or what are we looking at?
I think the elevator goes over that area.
No, I think that is like an entry to that hidden room sort of shed thing at the front of building 1, Tom.
Front of building 1.
Yeah, so it's close to the front of building 1 over there, and those are the wings down the side. So what was your question? Sorry, like what part were you trying to design? Like just the inside part there?
Yeah, like this shape and then this slope over here. You see what I mean?
Kind of. Maybe if you could draw a section through there, that might help. And plan like just draw a section through there and look at it through section.
Okay.
Because I think the background data is getting quite messy and confusing for me.
Yeah. Nothing over there. You see what I mean?
So is that actual like ceiling sloping or something?
I think so.
Okay, can you draw a section going like that way through it so we're looking at the actual
Okay.
slope of that ceiling? Just to make sure. If it is a sloped ceiling, I can show you how to do that. Okay, so it doesn't actually look like it's a sloped ceiling, it just looks like there's missing data over there.
Right.
Well, I would say in that case, just to make it easier on yourself, just model those walls coming straight down.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
yeah, you can see there's no slope over there either. Just model them down to the most visible part, I'd say. You don't have
Okay.
to model the parts that aren't there, but maybe make the assumption that the wall comes all the way down.
Okay. So I'll just bring, for example, this wall all the way over here, and then
Yeah.
I'll make a wall over there. That's
Over
it.
there, yeah. I think just do that for now because we don't have data there, so we can't actually make that assumption. What
Yeah.
you can do is, you know how Renata told us to look into that document?
Yes.
Maybe see if you can find it there, and if you can find that it is a curved roof or something, then let me know, and then we can model that. Otherwise,
Yeah.
what we can do is just close it off with a normal sort of ceiling,
Yeah.
just a straight ceiling.
Cool. Yep.
Just make it easier on yourself, you know. Don't have to model in
Yeah.
any curves if you don't have to.
Yeah. One another thing. This area that has this sort of pattern for its window. So what I did right now is I made that kind of a shape on the glazed wall.
Yeah.
But then I realized that this, I'm basically saying that this isn't glass and this is glass actually, which I want to do the opposite.
Yeah. So that's the chapel, is it?
Yeah, I'm guessing.
Okay, so that's a bit of a hard one. I would honestly just say put in those smaller windows. Don't worry about the bigger arch on the outside for now.
Okay. Yeah. And somehow it's extruding outside.
Could you turn the point cloud off so we can see that on the actual wall?
Okay, point cloud off.
Just hit VV on your keyboard.
Yeah.
And just go to point clouds, yeah. And turn the top one off, so the top, like right on top.
This one?
The one tick box further up.
This one.
Yep, that one there. It just turns off everything.
Yeah. So that's what I've made right now.
Okay, it doesn't. What do you mean by it's extruded though?
Not this one. I meant in the point cloud actually.
Oh, right. So the reason why it looks extruded in the point cloud is because point clouds don't work good with glass, so it could be the reflection coming out.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so it's probably the reflection
Okay.
just coming out of that. Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense.
I guess that's also one thing for everyone who's still in the call. Just watch out for reflections. They can probably confuse you sometimes.
So when I'm making those,
Yep.
do I look into the inner corners or the outer ones?
Good question, actually. Inner corners, I'd say.
Okay.
The innermost extent, because we're not doing the frames of these doors. We're pretty much making them frameless, just putting the doors in. So just go from the inside of the inside, pretty much.
Yeah.
So yeah, just inner frame. So that goes for everyone else too. Measure from the inner frame to the inner frame.
Another
Yeah,
question.
that's a good question though.
Yeah. Because it's working with the doors that you guys have already given us, but it's working with both 710 for the inside and 760 for the outside. So I was confused about that.
I guess Tom, did you give those doors out?
They're just default.
Right. So I'd say just double check your measurements too and change them if need be.
So these ceilings, I've realized that they're actually curved ceilings. Do I need to worry about that, or just have the flat ceilings is fine right now?
Can I see how big the curve is? Could you draw a section through that?
Oh yeah, I'll do that.
Ideally, we'd like to draw them in as curves, but I understand that it could also be quite challenging to do so.
Can you go like ceiling by extrusion?
Can you do ceiling by extrusion?
I know you can do a roof by extrusion.
Let's see. When you say
like
curve,
these ones. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Yeah, I guess they're
Weird.
vaulted in that way.
Yeah, capturing the vaults would be awesome.
It would be awesome, but in terms of this, do you think we should make them do that? 'Cause that's going to add quite a bit of time to their.
Yeah, just click on the ceiling tool. See what options you have.
Nah, so not this one. Sorry. Go to architecture and then just hit. Go to the ceiling tool and just see. There's nothing else. Okay, it's just ceiling.
Yeah.
You could do that as a component ceiling. You know how I did the reference plane before?
Oh yeah.
You could draw a reference plane going like following that
Extrude
axis.
and then
Yeah, you could do it like that. Personally though, Tom, I don't think they need to because there's going to be a lot of elements like that in the building. It might take up a lot of time.
Yeah, it's
If
like
you have
not-
time at the end, do it. But if you don't have time, I wouldn't say. I'd say don't stress about
it's one of
that.
those save it till last things.
Yeah, it would be nice if you could, but if you can't do it due to time constraints, just do them
Yeah.
as these normal flat ceilings.
So I'm Colin. I think Colin is doing my roof, and I do have chimneys on mine. Is it still fine if I do the chimney like the way you did? Actually, I think I might have to ask Colin to
If he
not
could
do my
get,
roof.
I mean, if he does the roof for you, you can just do the chimneys after, right? So
Yeah.
what you can do, what you said is fine. If you want to do the chimneys for your roof, you can do them because you can always push them into the roof that Colin gives you afterwards.
Yeah, but the thing is, if he makes the roof, like I already have it, I can show you, but yeah, it also messes up this area.
In that regard, I'd probably make your own roof then, but just make
Yeah.
sure you guys are talking, I guess, just to make sure your roofs end at the same areas.
Just while making an outdoor door, do I just use? Do we make our own doors, or because I was thinking that I just have to use from these ones.
No, so those are all just generic door families. You don't have to use those measurements that we gave. Those are just
Yeah.
generic measurements. So measure your doors and change those dimensions.
Yeah, and then just use a glazed wall for the upper part.
Yep, correct. That's correct. So you just do a normal glazed sort of window for the
yeah.
upper part, and then just put a generic door at the bottom over there, and then just
Yeah.
change the dimensions. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, you're correct.
One
All good,
more
Tom, I'll
last
catch you.
question. Yeah. Sorry. Just one last question is mullions for the window. Do I need to make an complete frame or just the ones inside?
Do a complete frame. You're already able to do a complete frame. So if you
Yeah.
go to the mullion tool and you just click all
Okay. Architecture.
mullion and you go all grid lines,
Yeah.
and you hover over the window, you should be able to do them on everything.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just change.
Yeah, you just change the thickness and everything. But yeah,
Yep. Thank you.
that's all good, man. Good work though. Looks coming along pretty good.
Thank you.
It's a heavy model too. That's a lot of windows.
Hi,
Hey,
I have a question.
Yeah.
Can you check my model? I want to see like if I'm doing everything right.
yep,
I'm
sure
not
thing.
saying.
I
And
haven't gotten around to your walls yet, by the way.
oh yeah, okay.
So yeah,
Yeah,
we'll...
you can tell me tomorrow. Like
Sweet.
on screen. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, it's just loading up. Yep, I see a screen.
Okay. So how do I check if I've done everything? Yeah. So I was just recently trying to make this wall thick, and I'm not able to actually. Even if I'm pulling it back or I'm increasing the thickness, it's not letting me do it.
What do you mean? Sorry, it's not letting you do it.
All right.
See.
I
guys,
just
I
can't
gotta
make it. It's
run.
just because the alignment is probably off. Could I see that in 3D by any chance?